All right. 1, 2, 3.
Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there.
May 9th, 2024. LaGrange police officer Kevin Currington is fighting for his life, shot in the leg, not by a suspect, but by his own department-issued SIG Sauer P320. In the chaos, the responding officer is trying to figure out what just happened.
You sure there was no shooter?
I didn't.
Sir?
Just went off.
There was a shooter?
Yeah.
There wasn't? It just went off? Okay.
Officer Currington says his weapon just went off, out of the blue.
I wasn't even touching, I was just walking. And that's, when that explosion happened, I'm like, what the heck was that? It went off in the holster.
Let's get this belt off so it doesn't get caught on anything.
And that footage shows that it was in its holster, it was secured. The bullet is still in there, but the entrance wound went like this, going down.
What happened to Officer Currington was not an isolated incident. Just months later, on September 20th, 2024, a chillingly similar scene played out in a different Texas police department. Marble Falls School Resource Officer Hunter Galley was also nearly killed by his SIG Sauer P320.
So it kind of went in like this and just went sideways in.
Officer Galley was working the big homecoming game. Teams and fans were heading into the stadium, and Officer Galley needed something in his cruiser.
Opened the door, reached inside, and at some point during this, I hear a pop.
That pop was his SIG Sauer P320 going off.
So I know for a fact that when I was reaching in there, my hands were nowhere near the gun. I also had an eyewitness that also said that my hands were nowhere near my gun.
And it was all caught on a bus surveillance camera that happened to be recording at the time. You can see his hands are nowhere near his gun when it goes off. Bystanders and first responders quickly saved his life. The pattern continues in Houston. On January 20th of this year, senior Houston police officer Richard Fernandez says his SIG Sauer P320 went off as he was directing traffic at a Martin Luther King Jr. Day parade in Houston.
When it fired, it was a very muffled pop.
What's going through your mind at that moment?
Confusion, because for some reason I thought my gun might have fired, but it didn't make any sense because my hands were nowhere near the gun. The gun was still holstered.
And Officer Fernandez says he carries a level 3 holster, which means there are 3 levels of security before he can draw his weapon.
That gun fired with all in the holster, with nobody near the holster.
Where did the bullet go? Did it hit your leg?
Through my right calf, down to my ankle.
Now Officer Fernandez has nerve damage and is asking a question more than 100 other people are asking about the safety of the SIG Sauer P320.
It shot while it was still in the holster, and I just didn't know how it could have shot in the holster with my hands nowhere around it.
The first known uncommanded SIG Sauer P320 discharge surfaced way back in 2016. It was caught on a Michigan deputy sheriff's body cam.
What the hell?
Hello, and thank you for calling SIG Sauer.
I've called and emailed SIG Sauer headquarters for a response on the safety of the SIG Sauer P320 and the uncommanded discharges over the last year. Every time, they've doubled down on the safety of the weapon. SIG Sauer also just launched a website to fight back against claims its P320 can go off without a trigger pull, saying the P320 cannot, under any circumstances, discharge without a trigger pull. The P320 meets and exceeds all industry safety standards, and verified incidents of unintended discharges are all attributed to improper handling. Since I started reporting on Texas officers being injured by the P320 over a year ago, a growing number of police departments and federal agencies are no longer willing to take a chance on the P320. The police departments in LaGrange, Marble Falls, and Houston have all pulled the P320 from service. APD issued a bulletin discontinuing the approval of officers being able to carry the P320. They've been joined by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. And in a major move, the Air Force Global Strike Command paused the use of the military version of the gun, the M18, after a deadly incident that is currently under investigation. About 2 weeks ago, the Air Force just cleared the M18 to return to service with enhanced inspection procedures. saying its investigation concluded the gun to be safe and reliable. But some people are still not convinced.
And it keeps happening over and over and over, and they keep denying it. And I don't understand how you can do that when it keeps happening over and over and over to people who saying their guns were in the holster, and there's video of it or there's proof of it. It's a flawed gun.
Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and get the latest news by downloading the CBS Austin News app.